Welcome to the road to resurrection. This week, it's Holy Week, and we are focusing on the resurrection of Jesus. I know that things might be challenging right now. I know that you might be in a lot of pain, and I know you might even be experiencing loss. There has never been a better time for us to focus on the resurrection. I want to read a passage of Scripture where Jesus is talking to someone who's going through a very discouraging circumstance. It's in John chapter 11. And most of us know the story. Jesus was really close friends with two ladies that are highlighted several times in the Gospels, Mary and Martha. And Lazarus had passed away. He had died. And both of them were devastated at the fact that Jesus wasn't there to save his friend. And so in the midst of this anxiety and this pain and this heartache, there's a dialogue that, in my opinion, is one of the most important things recorded that Jesus ever said in Scripture. Lazarus has died. He's being confronted by both Mary and Martha. And we see here this powerful passage of Scripture in John chapter 11, verse 25. Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live." One of the central things that has come up in conversation with regard to this virus and with regard to people in the situations they're living in with their health and with the life that they've known coming to an end with regard to their freedoms and their ability to live is that of loss. And some people, and you see it online, all you're hearing about is loss. I mean, you turn on any news channel and there's the counter, right? The coronavirus counter. This many people died. This many people are infected. This many people in the United States have been infected. This many people in the United States have died. And every time we see that little counter, it's a constant reminder of the reality of death. And it's a reality that none of us are exempt from. In fact, death is the one problem that no one in this world has ever been able to solve. I mean, really, Walt Disney, that was rumored to have tried to freeze himself so that if there was a chance that they could figure out how to cure this issue with death, that they could bring him back to life when he had the cure for the disease that killed him at the time. I mean, people have been trying to invent immortality for as long as we've been alive. But there is good news, and that good news is found in John chapter 11. Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he dies, he will live." And what the most unbelievable thing about the resurrection that we can focus on in this season where death is taking the center stage in the front lines is that the resurrection gives us the answer to life's darkest problem. What do we do when we die? Well, according to this, anyone who believes on Jesus and believes in his resurrection, they may die, but they will live again. They will not be resurrected into everlasting torment, but instead into everlasting life. The Bible is very clear about this, and that's the most hopeful thing. I want you to imagine that the thing that people around you are afraid of most, for the most part, physical death, you have the answer for through the resurrection. Through the resurrection, you could say, if I die, you know what? It's not the same. Because Jesus took my death upon himself, I belong to and take part in his resurrection. The road to resurrection is going to be filled with loss. But it still leads to resurrection. Who needs to hear this today? Who do you know that's worried and fearful about dying? I want to tell you that you should share this video with them. And I also want to tell you that if there's someone that you know they're insecure about what happens when they die, I want you to think about inviting them to one of our Good Friday experiences this week. All day long, from 11 a.m. on, we're hosting Good Friday experiences online on the hour, every hour, starting at 11 a.m. We want to encourage you to bring someone who needs to be transformed by the power of the message of the cross and the victory and the hope of the resurrection. The road to resurrection leads us to experience loss. But in the end, we still have resurrection.